Hey guys, it's Stephen B. So everyone's been wondering, is CT where he's been? He's or is he a medical that? But guys, everyone thinks the rumor's been going saying that he's on permanent vacation, but I don't think so. Here's our buddy CT Cards.
What's happening? How you
Nothing
doing?
much. I couldn't help it. Me and CT's been chatting for a few minutes in the background, just trying to make sure he's all taken care of and
Mhm.
catching up. So. Couple of things we'll talk about. The first one is yes, we are eliminated from the playoffs, but you know what? The better team won. Unfortunate. Hey Dev, what's up? Um, but I'm honestly not surprised. I've been thinking about this, reflecting the last few days, and just watching this season, looking back a little bit. You know, the few things I do like, I will say was probably good. We got to see we got to see Warren and Schitler come up, develop as the starters that we haven't seen in a while with a lot of injuries. Seeing Schitler pitch really great in the playoffs and develop could be an ace down the line. It's really makes the upside really awesome. And then seeing Warren from last year, the year before, to come into now becoming a good fourth, fifth starter on the rotation that was decimated, I take that in a heartbeat. But the bad, hope he regressed third year in a row. Then we also had, well, let's take a step back. And yeah, everyone's going to say Volpe is because of injury. We all know that. And they're going to say he's better than that. It's not even that. When he was even healthy before that play, he wasn't he wasn't doing the greatest. He wasn't having a fantastic season. He was just highs and lows. Right, CT Cards?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And here's some. And then the other thing that I've been looking at is our defense overall, and I got really exposed on the last game. The Jazz and the Volpe show up when I call it the middle of things, and me and CT were talking about this. Is why we're a little late. Um, I was proposing to put people to under thinking about it was, do you actually trade Jazz if you can get someone better for a second that's more better solid and is more consistent at bat and still has the same type of defense? And I know he's on a 1 year deal and he loves being in New York. Don't get me wrong. This is just idea, but it's what do you think? Because if you could get someone better, more consistent at the second base position and can play good defense, that makes our team a lot better, more fundamentally sound. But Jazz loves it here, and a 30 for 30 is the first one we had since that, and that's something I don't want to get rid of like lightly. It's just something to think about.
No, that error in Game 4, that would have been a double play, and Cam would have. I bet Cam would have come out for at least the first batter of the eighth inning. You know.
Yeah, no, that's why I proposed that. It's not because of just that one play. It's been the last month even the throws in the first base ending up in the stands a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Like there's a time like we always say there's a time and a place to try forcing it and not forcing it. And it seems like Jasmine's trying to force it more than he has to.
Yeah.
It's like it's just like this, like we call it the fundamentals. If you don't see he's gonna make it, don't throw it away. Keep the ball so it doesn't advance runners. That's causes. That's errors that could be prevented. Won't
Yeah.
be. I look at the defense and it just tears me up. You used to be good at shortstop. Like the first year was better than his second year, and the second year was worse than this was better than his third year. It just
Yeah.
regressed.
Yeah. He's regressed big time.
And the double clutching, even with the throws, I mean, you have to. Why would you want to play if you have a torn shoulder like that injury he has on his left shoulder, right?
Yeah.
CT.
Yeah. Well,
Is
came to one thing you mentioned having Warren, on the roster. I would have rather we had Yarborough on our roster against the Blue Jays. We could have used him coming out of the bullpen and giving us, be able to eat innings up. And you didn't see that out of Warren.
well, I'll give you. Here's the thing where I'm looking at. I think there was something wrong with Yarborough, and that's why he was left off the playoff roster.
Yeah, something had to have been going on because to me that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, that's why, and I'll give Warren some credit because he took a beating and he gave us innings on the game too that we had no shot at winning.
Yep.
He did what he had to save that bullpen,
Yep.
and he just took it like a champ and said, you know what, I know not that we're that, but I can save the bullpen, and it was really used on game three. You got to say he knew he didn't have his best stuff, and he still went out there and he did what he needed to save that bullpen.
Yeah.
Imagine if we didn't have that for game three. That
I'm
was what you call guts. That's still gutsy but bad outing, but that's what you get when you have a bad game.
Yeah.
And
That's for
the only other thing I really like to do say is think about it this way: if we never saw Cole go down or um, Schmidt, we never got to see Warren and Schiller to come up on here and have a real fair shot.
yeah.
They could have been easily traded and at the deadline with no hesitations. But instead, we were forced to put them in the rotation, and they excelled.
Yeah.
Yes, Warren is not a great against better teams. That comes with experience. And to have a full year as on the rotation, given innings, I take that. He has a lot of repertoire. He just needs to focus on the control more.
I agree.
And I'm not sure if you heard, Dominguez is playing winter ball for down in the Dominican League.
Oh, he is gonna. Okay.
He got permission. That's the one thing I know. They said he asked the office. And speaking of Jason Dominguez, I gotta give him credit. He looked out there at the last. He was the last Yankee to leave.
Yeah.
Watching them celebrating that, I think he's thinking, taking it in, seeing what it should be, and he's probably taking that feeling of what doesn't, and he wants to show it more.
Yeah.
Because I know from what I heard from Hector, Jason used to be good with the writers, and part of the season, then he went away, and then so they got Jose Caballero, and he came more out, and he actually was been talking to me a lot more too. So I think there's something with Caballero that with Dominguez that's helping bring him to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you and I were talking before we started, about Belly, opting out.
Yeah,
He's somebody that I really think we need to keep. We need to make sure we keep him. Make sure he's on the Yankees next year.
yeah. Here's the thing. I look at Bellinger and he opted out. I think he's gonna come back. Now here's
Yeah.
the question: do you play him at first base, or do you so you can have Jason and Jones up in the thing? Do you bring them back to play left and then have Bellinger? You have Jones in center. I mean, there's a lot of options, and then that does where does Jason fit into this? Or you even just have them pay him as a real everyday like a superstar outfielder, like a 30 million player, play him at first base and have them rotate with Jones and Dominguez. Play first base at times of that, but there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting what we decide to do here because we definitely have to make some serious decisions here. Though we can't throw out, a couple people have mentioned, if Volpe,
I
mhm.
to me, I think I like to see. I really think we need to have open competition or trade someone. for a shortstop and
Yeah,
let him play out. I want to see competition there. That brings out the best. I think Jose is more solid, brings the intangibles that you can't quantify on there. He brings the winning attitude of being patient, being pesky hitter, running the count, working on the thing. I want to really see players on the team start having those long at bats, wearing the pitcher out, putting the ball in play, making them make the mistakes. Simple baseball, not this flossy launch angle shit. It does not make sense. It's good as the track, but you don't do a whole hitting philosophy on that. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no, I agree with you. Yeah, I think Volpe needs a change of scenery, kind of like Torres, in my opinion, needed it. 'Cause, I mean, Torres has been doing pretty good for the Dodgers this year. So, but I don't know if I would have expected that same performance you saw from him this year with the Tigers, with the Yankees this year, though. I think he needed a
Uh,
change.
I think they need more discipline enough for management.
Yeah,
I think I think you need a, and I don't like to say get rid of Boone just because, but the way I look at it, I look I look at it and what's the different factors that the manager holds people accountable in a different way, not being their best friends. You're not there to make things. You're supposed to be doing a job trying to win the 28th World Series. Yeah, so you can be friends with some people, but you got to be able to push them
no,
and bring out the best out of them. Sometimes they rubs the wrong way, but it really needs to be a manager that says, "Yeah, you're stuck. You're not playing the defense. The fundamentals aren't there. We got to work on
yeah,
it. And if he makes a big mistake, take him out of the game, put someone else in there, make them learn the lesson."
I agree.
That's how we they used to do it back in the day with Jardy. They did it with Torres.
Tor, yep.
Once they sat him down for like not even a few innings, guess what? The next game, they never made the same mistake. There's like
No,
that's what you hold the players there. And a lot of the things I look at, I mean, you can say is roster construction. I really do think some of it's roster construction, but I also think there's also some really valid points that for a catcher there should be a right-handed one in the back for a backup. Not having three lefties on the roster.
yeah, yeah,
But if you look at the stats, then Rice hits what was it lefties better? No, it's righties better than lefties, and then Wells has lefties better than righties. So it is that, but it's not what I look at. I look at do we have the player personnel to actually do it? And I don't. I think we need more right-handed bats. I think we went too lefty now.
yeah. I agree with you.
Like I
Agree.
really think, and I don't think. And people are talking about bringing Um, Pete Alonso in for right first base. I don't think that's an option for us.
No,
We prefer people that actually play defense. His bat's going to probably wear out after 3 or 4 years, and that contract is going to be a mess.
yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't go after him.
I'm
I don't
as a
know.
person. The only one I would go after is the first baseman. That was on the was it the Guardians that got traded? That got traded to D-back. That traded to the Mariners.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
You
know.
know,
I'm kind of cool with Ben Rice. Uh, I like Ben Rice at first base. To be honest, I kind of
I
like
look
that.
at I kind of look at I look at Rice, and the only thing I worry about is the defense sometimes.
He did pretty good though for first time. First year doing this and also playing catcher. I think Ben Rice had a pretty good season this year.
Yeah, the other thing is what was it? What's the guy that was playing for the Mariners first baseman that had 30 steals? The first baseman.
Oh, Mariners.
He was on the Guardians last year, and then they traded him to the D-box because he's going to be a free agent this year.
Oh man.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's playing.
What are you talking about, Naylor?
Yeah, Naylor. I would be okay with getting him at first. That's a I think I would go after. I don't want Mercani. He strikes out. He might get like people are saying he's a lot of strikeouts for the Japan. What do you think is going to happen when you have major league hitters? It's going to be like a 40% K rate. We're going to
No.
live with that with the power. I don't think so.
No. Let's look at Naylor's Savant page here. How he's looking this year.
He's actually he hit some good. He hit 92, I think RBIs around that. He's a contact bat.
Yeah, 295. He batted 20 home runs, 92 RBIs, and 816 OPS. Not too shabby.
I would take that for first base, and he plays good defense.
Fielding. His arm strength, okay. His range is good though.
You don't have to have if you have solid player. I don't know if I would go after Tucker. That's a question that I don't. That's going to be have to be answered. Do you bring in a second superstar in for with Judge? And if you do, you go through the trade, or do you go with a free agent? And honestly, that's the questions of the $1 million question.
Yeah.
We have the players that make the trade to get a superstar, but are you willing to deal with the consequences? The players you give up, they could be a complete turnaround net, and the payroll is going to be a lot. It's going to be lower too.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. I saw that being talked about. I'm like, really? We're going to lower it even more? Great.
I can honestly see them like getting. I really would. If I was Cashman in the offseason, this is what I'd be thinking, and I'm not sure if you'd agree. I would try to get a first baseman. I would try to trade one of the catchers to get another one. They have Merck's still dealing with personal issues. I think you're in their chat with that about group chat. It just deals with more ones.
Oh, I just know that I just know Boone will be here to haunt my dreams next year.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing about. I still I really think I'd go after a right-handed bat for a backup catcher that's better a little defensively that way, or with a little bit more pop. I would try to get an outfielder. I want to bring up Jones, but you gotta if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to trade one of the. Either gonna have to figure out where Belgium is playing, so it's really chess matches. And if you do want to move, that is great, good one. Yeah, we gotta put that up here.
Come on over. Come on over.
He can bring his bag ganja for with you.
Yeah.
But in seriousness, I'd probably go after. I would try to get another right-handed bat.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing from what Jason River 161 saying what year was Brendan Donovan's available.
Brandon Donovan, yeah.
He could slide right into shortstop.
Wait a second. What did he look like this year? He batted 287, 10 homers, 50 RBIs, 132 hits. Let's see. Let's check out his Savant page. Bats. Bats left, throws right. Yeah, Savant page isn't bad. His bat speed's a little under, but most of everything else looks pretty good.
He's solid and he's versatile too. He can play outfield and infield. Second, short, third. Then he can play left and right. Versatile and is a fundamentally sound baseball player.
Yeah, that's not a bad option. Brandon Donovan. Good. What are we gonna do with Rice though?
To me, I would take. I hope she feels better, Dev. I really do. Hope those medications work good for her. Um, I would. What was the question again? Sorry.
What do we do with Rice?
So here's the thing: if you like the bat, you keep him. If you want to trade him and get someone more valuable, um, use him as a valuable piece to get something better. There's that option. There's a lot of
Yeah.
spare pieces that we're gonna have to feel. Like I think you could. There's a lot of spare pieces on this roster that could be traded to help get this roster better. I think the bullpen's the number one issue I would go after if I was free agents with Cashman. I would get two or three bullpen bat pieces.
Yeah, because what was I reading? Well, let's see. For next year, here's 11 guys that shouldn't be on the Yankees next year. You got Braden Shoemake, Alan Winans, Vivas, Ian Hamilton, Paul Blackburn, Loizaga, Austin Slater, Trent Grisham, and Luke Weaver, Devin Williams, and Mark Leader Jr. Uh, you know, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna chase after Luke Weaver. The way his season towards the end went. Ever since that injury he had, he hasn't been the same pitcher.
They rushed him back with that glute and hamstring injury, so
Yeah,
I honestly think if you do bring him back, he's gonna cost maybe 7 or 8 million. Give him
yeah,
a, I give him 1 year, prove the deal. If he does it, give him a bigger deal. I mean, he was a former number one pick for a reason. He's 30. He doesn't have a lot of arms on his innings on the arm under his arm. So I mean, there's a good shot you can rebalance back. What do you think, CT?
I don't know. Of those players I
I
mentioned, he's probably the one that has the most potential of staying. Is Luke Weaver of everybody I listed there?
What about Tim Hill? He's a player option. Do you pick it up?
Yeah, I like Tim Hill.
I think I would too. I think I would go after another lefty too to give him a good one. Some of these players in our roster does not make sense for what we have.
No, no. It'll be nice to not be worrying about Devin Williams next year. I kept on giving him the benefit of the doubt during the regular season, and there were moments there where it seemed like he was finding it, and then in game 4 when he went out there, I went, "Oh, this game's not going to be 2-1 much longer."
He cost us, but he did pitch. I mean, you got to give him credit. September, he did pitch really well. I mean, he did pitch okay in the playoffs. I mean, he didn't really go out crazy. He did get in a little trouble, but he got himself out of it. I mean, I think when he heard that, when he went, I think was it game 3 when he went in and went 1, 2, 3 right away, and the whole crowd erupted. He looked and he goes, "They do that for me, even though I
Yeah.
screwed up the huge thing." I think that to how he pitched that one on game 3 when he got the stadium and he saw the fans cheering for him. I think it really got him into it. I think he got finally got what's to be New York. So I'm okay. I'm open to it. Has to be reasonable, but I'm okay for that if he's willing to do what he wants to be a 7th or 8th inning for now. Because Bednar is our closer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Hey Beagle, CT's back.
No Beagle.
We missed. We all miss CT cards. Even though I've been going on here live all the time. Well, he's been dealing with stuff. At least I got my co-host back. Makes it a lot easier for us. And Mark will be back. We promise. A lot of you got Mark was just dealing with something personal. We're all trying to make sure that I think we could Eagle. I think we could have beat Detroit. I think we could have beat Seattle, but it's we played them earlier the year and we did really well against Seattle.
Yeah,
We, we've been having their number for a while, but it would have been a really close series. If it was Detroit, I might have been scared a little bit.
yeah. Detroit's a team I'm more worried about than Seattle if we had gone
Yeah,
on.
I think yeah, and I was telling CT. My grandfather actually grew up. My mom's side actually grew up in Michigan up there before moving down here, so he was a Detroit fan. And I'm actually, even though the Yankees are out of it, I think I'd be rooting for Detroit to see them and to do it. It'd be nice to see their city to do it, Michigan. That'd be something I would do. I want to see, and it's kind of nice to see Glaber doing well there. Even though we couldn't do it here, but I think that's leadership, honestly. Like me and CT were talking a little bit earlier, and everyone, and we'll see what happens. This is gonna be real interesting because Cashman has a lot of options, and there's a lot of good free agents for relievers. At least it's gonna be a Bellinger probably. I'm guessing Tucker's going to get signed first, and then whoever doesn't is going to go into Bellinger's thing. That's my guess, but everyone's saying it might be Bellinger first, then that. I don't think we're coming back with Grisham. I know he's
No,
loved the thing. I think it's time to move on from him. Great
I
fourth
agree.
outfielder, never showed up in the playoffs. They pitched it. You know what's funny? They pitched it Volpe for Dominguez, and what does he do? Hits a double. Like pretty much, he's like, screw you. I would say Goldie might. Goldie said he's willing to come back. I, maybe out of $5 million if he wants a 1 year, 5 million. That way, it's not really bad. I'm open to it, but I don't think he's going to want to take that much of a hit.
Yeah, I don't see Goldie on the team next year. I think if anything, you're going to see Ben Rice take that spot over.
I think that's what the front office is like. Kind of like almost like when we had Greg Berg. They wanted to have a first base, and we let like a veteran walk, and then that turned out to be a bad move.
Yeah. What's our thoughts on Boone? You know Boone's going to be back. You know it.
Uh, I've been saying it before. I mean, do I agree with most of his moves? Absolutely not. I think I think maybe next year they might be willing to move on from him. I don't think this year. I
Yeah.
think we have another um and that's what I was about to get to Beagle. And I've been listening to a few things, and what I've been hearing is, and this is I think CT knows exactly where I'm going with this. I've been hearing it from Susan Wallman, and that Boone thinks exactly like how analytics, and he has the exact same moves. So, um, he just thinks of he's not. I think it's time to move on, but I don't see him. I don't see him doing it. I think some staffs can be changed. So that I think we might see a new third base coach. I could see them doing that. I could see him moving on from another hitting coach, possible. But I really don't see a lot of moves. I think they're gonna definitely keep Blake. The pitching wasn't his fault that the players were that. Blake did a great job for what he was dealt with this year.
Yeah. I still can't believe though in that Blue Jays series that of all the pitchers that last longer than 3 innings, it was Cam Schlittler.
You know, you know what I maybe me and you are been were watching it. I was watching game one a little bit. Um, to me, I would say the what I look at it is I think they should have left Gillen more. He was settling down that one loop hit. It was it's a blue pip, or it's not what Gill. He was actually looked like he was settling in.
Yeah.
And Mooney goes, "Oh, I'm gonna quick go to the bullpen." Yeah, how'd that work out?
The one move I didn't like is them taking in Game 4 was them taking Cam Schlittler out after Jazz fell asleep. Trying to catch that ball. That would have been a double play. You could have had Cam Schlittler come out for the first batter of the 8th inning. If I just didn't like the move. The minute we took Cam out was the minute all of a sudden it went from 2-1 to 4-1, eventually 5-1.
And then they score one run in the thing. And I will say this: where's the naysayers about Judge and not being him?
No, he had a good playoffs.
No, I'm not, and I've been watching baseball a long time, and CT's been watching a lot of baseball. I've never seen someone hit 101 in a way inside and hit that off a foul ball on the third upper deck. That's a legendary shot. You're never gonna see that again. You will never see that. That's how good of an unbelievable hitter Judge is, and no other player has hit it statistically, and that's going by statistics. Never hit it that far inside and hit it there. A home run that hard at 102 miles per hour. That's how good a hitter Judge is. And that home run, I was in shock. That was something like Mickey Mantle would do, one of a kind home run, right? CT.
Yeah.
That's like when he had his bat. Was he break his thing? He still hit a home run.
Yeah.
Broke his. Wasn't that the legendary shot he did it with one-handed?
Yep, one-handed.
That's how legendary that home run's gonna be.
Let's see, 2025. There we go. What was his average? Yeah, he batted. Judge in the playoffs this year batted 500.
500, one home run, and I think there was about 7 RBIs. Right? His on base was over 1 point something.
Yeah, 7 RBIs, and he had a 1.273 OPS.
And I look at.
And he's 4th on the list of all-time Yankees for home runs in the postseason. So he had a good postseason this year.
I know Judge is once the season is tired, but I think he needs a little break. But I think he's even more hungrier. I think he's gonna figure out become even better.
From what I read is it kind of seems like he's gonna have off-season surgery on his elbow. So it's not supposed to get in the way of him coming back in the spring. So it'd be something. I think if that's the case, he should do it ASAP.
I think maybe coming out might be a blessing in disguise, even though we really wanted 28 this year. And everyone wants to keep on saying, "No, George would have done this." You know how much George hated the taxes to pay to go to the other teams. Do you think really George would be wanting the threshold like it is right there? No, he wouldn't be going over it. He hated. That's the one thing you guys got to realize. George never wanted to pay taxes and everything to these other ball players for going over a threshold. He hated it. He would have not put up with the thresholds of that.
Yeah.
Am I wrong, CT?
No, I agree with you.
And I honestly, what I'm waiting to see is what happens after 2030, because that's when the Yankee Stadium's paid off. You know how much that would cost to build right in today's age? CT?
Yeah.
$8 trillion now. That's how state of the art that the Yankee Stadium is. That's how much it would cost. Today's game.
Unreal.
Yeah. And they're paying on they're paying it off. They should be paid off in 3 years, 3 or 4 years. That's when I would say that's when you're going to see what the Yankees are really going to be up to. Because that with that all that extra money, that's where you might see them actually go for it after that. It's like they're trying to save money to be able to pay that off. I understand it's 300 is not sustainable. I can see them getting about 270, 280, 290 most games, right, CT?
Yeah.
Years. But you lose draft picks, then you drop down the whole things. Then eventually you lose international money in that. It's not benefits aren't the worth the risk of going over it.
No.
And the Yankees are, and there's one good point I like to say that I heard on a couple of shows. Most of the Yankees aren't really a $300 million payroll team right now. A lot of it's dead money. Hicks
Yeah.
contract, there's 1 million left on it for next year. That's the buyout that he gets. You got you got a couple of guys that got DFA. DJ's
DJ.
contract. DJ next year is off. 15 million.
Yep.
A lot of it's dead money. We've been that, so you gotta think of that, and then you gotta think we got not Grish, Stan's contracts is coming down because we're getting money from the Marlins
Yeah.
now. So he's like making 19 million really what we're paying. So that's the craziness of all this.
That's going to be interesting moving forward here with Stanton. I don't know. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people in other channels, and I've been reading in the chat. A lot of people want to find a way of getting rid of Stanton.
He's not going anywhere. He's not blocking Rice. He's not blocking the DH. Honestly, you would need Stanton. And the people that say they get rid of DFA, I'll say this. Who is the only one that had the players doing only meetings twice this year and let it? Stanton. He's the only one that actually puts the people accountable and say, we're better than this. You guys got to play better. Play up to your talent.
Yeah.
He's the one that brought a wake up call in those seasons. That's how good a leadership Stanton is. And he didn't have the greatest playoffs this year, but he was coming off injury, and look what he did in those 4 months just to get us to the playoffs. If it wasn't for him and Judge, we would never be in the playoffs this year.
Yep.
It's like they say, it's a crapshoot for hitting wise. You're facing the best of the best pitchers. You're not gonna have the prettiest stats every year.
No.
Stan usually pelt things out. He's dealing with 2 elbow injuries.
Yeah, hopefully they take care of that this off season and don't wait till the season's begun before we start worrying about it.
Yeah, no. That's a lot of the stuff that I've been hearing this stuff, and I've just been listening. I've been observing on other channels. I've been listening to a lot of it about this. I really hope people and the fans really wake up and think about what you really want for this team. You want to see 28. We have to see. We gotta think about what the best moves were and think before we're acting. Because I know I was embarrassed tonight when I saw 3 people in the field jumped on game 3 on there and getting tossed and arrested and banned from the stadium for jumping on the field. And game 4, a couple of his fans just tossing beer at Vlad's family. That's something you never do. And it's been brought up a few times. I don't care if they're celebrating or making fun of it. There's no ever excuse to take out your frustrations out into anyone's family if you don't like them.
Yeah.
You don't like them, just walk away. And that's what pisses me off about this stuff when I see that. It's not the whole thing. The whole thing is the things. And if you're right there as a Yankee fan, you see them starting to do something bad, step in and say, no, you don't do this. Hold them accountable. That's how you make this fans' image looks better for us because that is not a class. That's just toxic, and it makes what most of our fans look really bad. And it's sometimes so hard of wearing my Yankee hat when out in public when
If
I
if
see
I
those stuff.
if I was gonna run, if anyone was gonna run on the field, and you know you're gonna get banned, at least run onto the field naked or something. You know.
Like that commercial back in the '90s, CT with
Yeah.
the soccer player with the scarf.
Seriously, like at least make it creative, you know. But yeah, it just shows our sloppiness on our fans. I don't like that stuff. But I also didn't
No,
like at the end of the game, Vladdy, you know, and them all in the locker room playing Sinatra and stuff, New York, and celebrating.
that's what you want to know where they got that from, and I heard this from Hector this morning. They got it from the Red Sox because they thought they were going to win in Game 3. They were going to do the same thing to us that they did.
Gotcha.
Even though, and I always tell people, they want to do it, you make in front of the worst. You won't want to do that. That New York song is classic to everyone. You making fun of it, you're just gonna be karma's gonna be in the bad thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Plus, if any of
I,
those players will ever are in a situation where they need a contract, though, and they want to go to a team like the Yankees, well, chances of that happening are slim to none now.
yeah, and that, yeah, yeah, no. There's been a bunch of things. At least, this is actually really fun. CT, I missed this the last few weeks,
Yeah, I'm
but at
glad.
least we got you back.
Yeah,
It's like something like was missing in between.
I really hope Belly, we don't lose him. I saw a couple people mention, you know, how, you know, they expected more of him in towards the end of the season and in the playoffs, but I mean that guy was so clutch for us. I mean
He's
some of those catches he made in the outfield in this past series were unreal. So,
it's on what I really think. What I have there's kind of thing you have to manage expectations. Dellinger's always been a good defensive player. He has a good two strike approach. You can't always produce in the playoffs is like a crapshoot. Like for like what I would say a crapshoot. I mean, you're facing the best pitchers. Do you think you're gonna get more hits, or are you gonna get outs more?
yeah,
Mostly
yeah.
outs. You're facing the best pitchers in the whole world at this place, and
I,
you expect to be hitting hitting 300, 400. You're not gonna face it. You're facing the toughest of the tough pitchers, and these umps until we got ABS, and you're gonna not gonna see. You're a lot of these strikes are balls that are calling for strike three.
yeah. Well, next
Until you
year that
see,
wait till we see the new umpire system next year.
wait till the ABS comes next year because I know some of these pitches that are they call strikes are going to be called ball fours,
Yeah,
and then some of these walls they're calling for that could cause the person to walk is going to be called a strike. Look at how many times Rodon had strikes that were called balls.
yeah.
His ERA would probably closer, like maybe 20 or 30 things lower his ERA.
Well, we gotta hope that when Cole comes back, Cole's back.
I
You know.
I what I'm expecting for Cole is I don't think he's coming back. I think he's going to be back in like middle of May. That's what I'm thinking he's going to make his debut, but for us.
Yeah.
I know he's throwing. He's looking on target. He's going to be in spring training, but I think you're going to see him like a month of rehabbing before he can back up.
Yeah.
Why risk it? Because He comes back faster. He's the same surgery Verlander had, and he came out of the thing. But that's Verlander. Give him. Don't rush Cole back. We have plenty of pitchers,
Especially
especially.
with Cam. So you got Cam, Rodon, Hill, Max, Cole. Yeah, can't
And
say Cole. Yeah, we have plenty of pitchers. But how
and
long
then
do we
this
have
guy's
Yarbrough for?
he's a free agent, I believe. I would
Uh,
bring him back if it was me. I would bring him back. But also I like to think about is two gut pitchers in the minor leagues that are gonna be knocking around the door. Lagrange and Jose. What was it? Rodriguez Cruz. No, Elmer Rodriguez Cruz. Those two guys are gonna be on the 40-man roster, and I could see one of them coming in, gut punching one of those pitchers and forcing them in the rotation.
yeah, yeah.
Especially,
We only signed Yarbrough for 1 year, $2 million. I'd say do that again in a heartbeat.
you might want to ask for four. I'd give it to him.
He was worth it, in my opinion. He had more better starts, quality starts, than he did bad starts. Put it that way. And he changes the tempo of the game, which I think we need to have a pitcher like that.
And I really like him as a lefty out of the bullpen. He
You
can do
can,
either. He reminds me like a Jamie Moyer. He can not the hardest throwing, but hits the spots. Good change up, change of speeds. You going from hitting 90 to going that slow, like 86, 87. That looks like it screws your timing up usually.
yeah, big time, big time.
Or even reverse. Or you have a spot start and then go like a inning or two with him, then putting in Cam. It's hard to catch up with the slower pitcher to the faster one. I really think we'll see it better. It's a really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see what Cashman does. I honestly, if I was Cashman, I'd probably reamp the analytic team and get rid of some of these older guys, bring some
Yeah,
hungry guys in. That's what
that's
I would do. And the other
that's
thing would be the medical staff getting better at with injuries, spotting injuries, and
we had both Wells and Volpe playing injured. And we didn't even know it at the time. Immediately
oh,
we found out at the later date that those two had been dealing with injuries.
I said after the second month, like after you were given the Walls thing, I said I think he's been injured for a little bit,
Yeah,
and you're kind of and that made more sense to me. Same with what for Volpe, but I don't think Volpe is the best. I really don't think Volpe's the best shortstop. He was the worst in the league this year. 19 errors.
we had to have somebody last year who led the league in errors at their position, and this year we had to have somebody else do the same thing. So I just seen Volpe's not getting better. He's not getting better. So how long do you keep this experiment going? You
I
know?
call this experiment. I get someone in. I don't think Bouchette's the answer. Don't. I don't think he's the answer. I think we need to make a trade. Target someone and see what we can do. I mean, Marte's from the D-backs is it might be available for second base. That could be a second baseman that he could move to Jazz to, but he's going to cost him more than that. Probably a couple of starters, like some pitching prospects too.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's funny because we all try to we all come up with ideas for that. There might be a no name that we're not thinking of but I think they named that third base is not bad at all. I know you wanted your guy from the Royals.
Yeah. Well, what do we got, McMahon? How long do we have McMahon just for this season?
2 more years.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's that. It is a team friendly contract, so if you really wanted to move him, it's not hard to move him. But I honestly thought he was did pretty good in the playoffs. For I mean, yeah, he didn't hit that, but that home run, the first the game four, that was before they took him out. He hit a home run that was pretty nasty, and he's great defensively.
Yeah, he was great defensively. Put the only run at the time on the board. But I mean, in that eighth inning when we had bases loaded and Wells swung at the first pitch, I went, "You got to be kidding me!"
I would have pitched hit, and I would have put the minions up at that point.
Yeah, I would
That's
have
what I
been.
would have done.
I would not have either way though. I would not have been straight swinging at the first pitch with bases loaded and 2 outs in the eighth inning when we finally had momentum going. I would have taken that
I
first.
would I would have pitched hit, and I would have put either Dominguez for hitting just a pinch hit. You don't have to, and then you can move Rice to that, and at that point you could have Rice at that. Do we have any guys at first base? Was Goldschmidt now at that point? I'm just trying to remember. It's been like too many. I've been doing too many
Yeah,
server
yeah, they had
server.
taken Goldschmidt out. I think.
So what you could have done was you could have put Jose at first. At that point, you could have put Jose at first. Then Jazz would have been at second. That yeah, that. But did was Jose playing third base at the end of the game? I'm just trying to remember. I just like kind of just after they lost, I just like kind of just mentally just chopped out of it.
Yeah. I ended up changing the channel. I didn't even watch the ninth inning. I finally had to change the channel, and I'm like, it's over. The fat lady
I
was saying.
once she was warming up in the first inning. That's all. That's after I saw the first inning. I'm like, yep, not happening. I said it wasn't Schiller, and he's. If you look at it, he made the adjustments against the Blue Jays like no one thought he was going to do, and that's what you call a good pitcher.
That's why I just think after Jazz made that blunder, they shouldn't have taken out Cam. I would have kept Cam in because the minute we took Cam out, all hell broke loose.
It was like Boone goes, "Oh, I'm gonna make a Boone move and take out do something."
You had left Cam in for what 100 and some pitches the game before, and now he's at 94 pitches, and you're taking him out, and it wasn't even his fault. That was Jazz's fault. So
Yeah, nope. I'm just looking at it, and that's what I think. It's just you look at the stuff, you look at things, and I'm looking at even though like we're talking about the game, I'm always my mind is always putting it together. What am I gonna see it for left field? Who's doing it? Hey Jacob, um, I look at it and I'm looking at who's paying attention, and then a lot of the things I look at is like the most flawed positions on our team is shortstop and second base at times. Third base was it for a while, but then you have McMahon come in and that solidified it. I really like to see Rosario back.
yeah, I liked him. I like him.
He had he had some positive. He was always there when anything the Yankees did good or that he was the first one out cheering. I think he enjoyed his time. I think that might help him come back. Jason started at 9 o'clock. I was up in the chat for a little bit. It's awesome for all that. There's a lot of fun stuff, and there's other things that me and CT are going to be doing during the off season. It's just not going to be just the Yankees. It will be some off season. We'll have the open panels, but we can talk about the football. We could talk about you. We can talk about the UConn because me and him are big UConn fans. The NCAA. I was mentioned this to the other day. I think you probably saw the video that you commented on.
Mhm.
We can talk about NFL. We can talk about all these things. It's not just mostly Yankees, but we can talk about all this, and it's always open to anything. You guys want to just talk about like mental health or something like that, and come on. We're always there listening. Me and CT are non-judgmental. We just have you guys on. We can talk about that. Yeah, no, I was actually happy to see that. Just to, I will see the Eagles lose sometimes. Just to the Giants to make their fan base go so bad, go nuts.
When was the last?
Especially
I got to look that up. When was the last time the Giants
beat the
before?
Eagles.
When was the
I
last
think it
time?
was like I think it was with Eli was QB.
It would not surprise me. The
I'm
last.
pretty sure it was with Eli, but I could be wrong.
Let's see. Giants. They won in 2006. Let me just scroll down here.
I
20.
think it was like with Eli back before he retired.
It was a while ago. I think it
Yeah,
was.
I'm
I
not.
think it was the 2021 season.
Yeah, with Eli who just retired right before he retired, right?
I think so.
That's what I remember.
That's
I,
crazy.
I in the what I do like to say is that I do think that rookie quarterback's gonna be something special with the Giants if they just keep it simple this year. Don't go crazy. Let him learn at his own pace. Like we always say about baseball, don't don't manage your expectation. Don't compare them to players. Yes, they remind you of them. You could say it reminds me of that. Reminds me of this player, but it's good to see. Just manage expectation. This is a rookie quarterback. Yes, he's has really top talent, but you guys can't can't expect him to pull miracles. This guy just let him develop at his own pace for the first year. Rookies never really do great the first year. Usually, you see the big jump from year two. With the second, usually you'll see the better drives from when you're two and short, or two and long, or three and long. You will find the QBs will be better at that. At that,
Going in the bottom of the ninth, Detroit Tigers and the Mariners game tied 2-2.
who's home team Mariners?
I think, yeah, I think it's no. Is the game in Detroit or is it?
I think it was the Mariners, but I could be wrong.
Well, what's Daniel Jones was that was the fluke year we went to the playoffs. Yeah, we did beat
Oh
the
yeah,
Eagles. We did beat the
uh,
Eagles.
Jones was bad. That was the worst QB I think I've seen besides Brian Leaf.
Ah, no, he wasn't that bad. Hey, he brought us to the playoffs. Brian Leaf didn't even smell the playoffs.
Well, here's the thing. I was a I was a huge Peyton and Eli fan for those guys because those guys were good. You know what's funny? What's the difference between Eli and Dart this year?
No, Dark has a little bit of running speed to him.
Yeah, no, they're the same. Went to the same exact college they and started. Ole Miss.
Yeah.
That's my point. You notice they do good with Ole Miss QBs. The Giants. They usually have good ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Daniel Jones is from Duke, I believe.
Yep, something like that. But it's crazy because I don't like talking about the NFL because they just rubbed me the wrong way for a while.
Yeah. I I see. I'd finally gotten back into the NFL that year where Daniel Jones brought us to the playoffs and we beat the Vikings, and that was the first time I've been into them in a while. Because I mean, the last few years of Eli weren't very impressive.
Well,
Um,
it didn't help that they had no offensive line. There
yeah,
didn't help that they had good player like the running back, but there was no offensive line. There was no like when they traded Beckham. And I was like a big step back.
yeah, yep.
I know about that. I've done fantasy football leagues and stuff. I'm just Like it tells you like what player stats are for each team. Well, the one thing I've been really surprised is how bad the Ravens been playing this year.
Ravens.
Well, the Baltimore Ravens usually have a good team, and they've been bad. And their defense has been negative every year for fantasy football purposes. It's been negative, and I thought they were going to be a good defense because they normally are.
Yeah.
And now Philly's lost. That's the Dodgers seem to have it. And to me, what I look at the Yankees and I look at the Dodgers. The only thing I think see different between the Yankees and Dodgers is the Dodgers got the players that they needed that fit the tangibles and stuff, and we got players that don't have the tangibles, a few of them. And I think that's the big thing. We're a playoff team. We just need to fine tune it.
Yeah.
And there's no way to quantify pressure. They don't. There's no way to quantify who he does good in the clutch, who doesn't. There's no statistics that will tell you, oh, he's good, but you gotta watch your they thing. There's a feel to the game that we always keep on saying, and that's what it really bothers me. I see them playing, and I see some players that should have no business in the major leagues, and
Yeah.
they say, "Oh, he's great because he has this launching and all that." I go, "No, he's not hitting. There's no contact. This game's been over 100 years. Don't try to invent the wheel. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Contact hitting, great defense, good pitching. That's what wins championships. Not the flashy home runs all the time. What kills the momentum? Home runs. Unless it's exclamation to end the game. Like if you're up by it, give an exclamation the momentum. That's the only way the home run does it. And a lot of the time I look at it and just say, it ain't for us. We had the most home runs in the regular season, but that's not something I'm happy to see. I want to see more contact hitting. I want to see
I
the
agree.
average up. I want to see them actually play. I want to see them play sound defense. I will admit that this year's defense has been a lot better than the previous few years in the outfield and infield, but it still needs more fine tuning with shortstop and second base specifically. You can't be falling asleep and telling me that my guess I like to see Dodgers versus Blue Jays and with the Dodgers beating them like
Yeah.
in 4 games.
Well, and the scary part is if the Dodgers have to play Milwaukee, that's going to be a crazy series for them because this year I think the Dodgers only won 3 games against Milwaukee the whole year. So
Well, they
Milwaukee's
also
their number.
they got Roki back for and he's closing games this this year. It's a good spot for him to help him for bring him to next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm picking. I'd like to see the Dodgers play the Blue Jays and the Blue Jays get the shit kicked out of them. That'd be nice.
Honestly, I like to see that. The other team I would like to see win it if it wasn't the Dodgers. I'm not a real Dodger fan. I really respect their like the players in the past for that and the ownership, especially because it wasn't for the Dodgers, we wouldn't have Jackie Robinson or all these other ones.
Yeah.
And and that's the thing about baseball. We never had all that. If it wasn't
No.
for the Dodgers ownership back in the day, we wouldn't have Mo. We wouldn't have all these. It would be still a lot of white people playing, not well, the other ones. And I hate. I'm not trying to sound like that. Just how the facts are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it wasn't for the Dodgers, we wouldn't have Mickey. We wouldn't have we wouldn't have this beautiful game we have with the best players playing in there.
Well,
Okay.
Tigers and Mariners are at the top of the 10th.
Who's up? Mariners.
Right now, Tigers are batting.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Tigers win this. And like I was telling CT and back thing, um, my grandfather grew up in Michigan before, up that way, and moved down to Connecticut after me and my grandmother. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Tigers win against them, but that's just me. Yeah, I wish they did too, because that was a great. That was like you were so big that you could have had three teams in baseball. But when they talk about expansion, I don't even. Oh, me and CT we're gonna do an episode on that, but we'll probably do another one about the expansion.
Yeah.
But I told. I think most of me and CT were agreeing on it. I would just add if you're gonna add an expansion team, do what they did last time for that. Keep the divisions the same. If you have one, like say, I had one for Tennessee, I would probably say put that in the AL East because it's right between the three, right? Because you have Boston, you would have New York, you have Montreal with the Blue Jays, and then you have the Rays. It makes sense that Ray have one in between.
Yeah.
Or it could be in the NL East. It could be, or that could be in the NL East too. There's two different ways you can look at it.
I want them to bring
Depending.
back the Expos, man. We need the Expos back.
Well, that's the Nationals now, right? They moved them from Montreal to the Washington Nationals. The thing is about the Expos, you don't see that any. Not a lot of fans up there wanted that were up there enough to make it profitable.
No.
That's the only problem. And if you're gonna do that, then they're also saying Sacramento might be a good place to go, right? I wouldn't mind see, but I would say put Sacramento. You could put one on that. If it's there, I would probably put it with the AL West. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Man, this is one nice thing that we didn't get to see. Our Yankees didn't get to see the no ghost runner.
Oh well, I love the no ghost runner. Honestly, that makes me feel a lot better about this stuff. That they got to get rid of that for the regular season, or if you're gonna implement it, have it in the round. You have it in rounds. Like I would say, the first one would be like 13. The 13th inning start with a guy on first, and then I
Yeah.
like to say go to the second one would be the 15th, put one of the 15th, and if there's no one on there, go to the 18th inning for the third.
Yeah.
Really make it challenging.
Yeah. I wish they just put a guy on first if they're going to do this. You know, yeah,
Second doesn't make sense to me. It should have been
no,
a first base, and then it should have been second if it was after so many innings, and then so many after third to make it really challenging.
takes the fun out of the game in extra innings, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, because you could have a sac fly on the right field, the guy advances, and then a sac fly on the left center or left, and there you go,
Yeah.
without doing anything. It's been over an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to get going in a couple. But
So why don't we end it on this on a high note? It's gonna be a long, interesting off season for us. We will be trying to do lives every like we've been trying to do Monday, probably Friday and Saturday, as long as weather permitting.
yeah, weather
CT's not
permitting.
busy.
Yeah.
'Cause-
No,
but
definitely. You know, that's the nice thing about this channel is, you know, it's not just the Yankees. We can keep this channel going all off season, you know. And then once we start hearing what we hear about with trade rumors and stuff, that gives us stuff to talk about in, you know, leading up to spring training. So
and if we hear rumblings, we will go live to talk about it. It might be impromptu, but we can talk about it.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, it would kind of be cool that it was all like that, you know. But it's been a great stream. Thanks for Dev, CT, Dev. We had John the Beagle, Jacob showing up, and
Yeah.
everyone else in the background, and and keep on sharing this out, guys. Make sure you hit the lights. If there's always an open panel, if you guys ever want to come on, you're more than welcome. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next show. And
Take
thanks
it easy.
for being here.
Thank you,
Hold
guys.
on.
Thank you,
Hold
everybody.
on, CT. Hold on, CT. We're not going to do it the right way.
Hmm?
Hold on.